Because if you meet somebody and they went to prison because they murdered a woman, they murdered their mother, them whatever, and they did a heinous crime. Why would you want to take this person up? All of them cute, turn a blind eye. So a story popped up, and Kiba is gonna join me for this one, about a woman who was killed in front of her kids in a car on the road. Turns out it was, I don't know if it's her husband or her boyfriend. Her husband was the one who killed her. The man shot her point blank in her face. You understand? We are going to show a video so that you can see just a little footage on it. And I'd love for us to have a little conversation about this and about all the ramifications. Somehow this morning seemed like it is about marriage. That was not the theme. It's just accidental. But you have some serious, you got some serious relationships out there, you know. Some people are going through a hell and powder house, and it's people that you see every day. Some of them you don't even know. But can I just say, if you're going through something, you know, talk to somebody. Do not allow somebody to kill you, to hurt your kids. You know, there are a lot of murder suicides out there. Hey, this thing is real. We're not just making it up, you know? And yes, we talk about the stupidness sometimes, but yeah, it's reality. And sometimes reality is a little bit funny, but there's some serious things out there. I want you guys to watch this video.
Well, good evening once again. We begin with a homicide investigation here in Buffalo and the really disturbing details that we're learning from family members tonight.
I spoke with them today, and Buffalo police telling us that a woman was shot and killed this morning near Rich Lawn and Shawnee Avenue. Now that's just blocks from ECMC and in front of a school bus stop. This was around 8:30 this morning. I spoke with family members who say it was their loved one, 30-year-old Kiara Hudson, who was killed. They tell me the young mother was shot in her car in front of her 3 children. They say she was married and a victim of domestic violence. And they tell me they know who killed her.
She's just been trying to get help. I've been with her, going to police stations. She's been texting me, sending me videos, giving me her phone password just in case.
Montasia Jeter says her sister, Kiara Hudson, was in an abusive relationship, even posting a disturbing video on social media that shows her getting beaten up. Jeter says her sister was staying with her mother because she feared for her life.
She's been staying at my mom's house for the last 2 days, and that she was going to go to court today because he was trying to get custody.
But she never made it to court or work. Family members telling me Kiara strapped on a bulletproof vest before leaving the house Wednesday morning, got in her SUV with her 3 kids, and was on her way to drop them off at school when she was shot and killed.
He must have been stalking her. My mom asked her, "Why are you putting that vest on?" She said, "Because, Mom, he's going to kill me. You don't understand." And as soon as she went around the corner, he killed her. He smashed into the front of her car in front of a school bus and got out the car with a shotgun and shot her and pulled off.
Her ex-boyfriend and father of one of the kids in the SUV tells me this should have never happened.
I know he was arrested a couple days ago for domestic violence.
I think your daughter was in that car.
Yes, she was.
And she saw what happened.
Yes, she did. And there was 2 other kids in the car.
Where's your daughter now?
In the house.
Is she okay?
Yes, ma'am. She would call every once in a while and ask questions and saying, "What should I do?" And the video was posted on Facebook. Everybody's seen it. Everybody was trying to help her, and this is what happens.
The video you sent me was posted on Facebook.
Yes, it was.
She said if anything ever happens to her, she would not rest in peace.
The family telling me that the system failed their loved one. Now, I do want to thank the victims' family members for talking with me today while dealing with this unimaginable grief. And you're probably wondering, what about the suspect? Well, I did reach out to the Erie County DA's office and Buffalo Police today. Neither would confirm a name for me. A police spokesman would only say Buffalo Police are actively searching for a suspect. We will stay on top of this investigation for you and for the family. There's so much to this case.
We got a call on the line. Welcome, caller.
Hi.
Morning, Kiba. Morning, Sherry.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. Sherry, there was a study in 2006. In that study, it was done in Jamaica, by the way.
Okay.
48% of the women who died in Jamaica was as a result of domestic disputes.
Wow.
48%. I don't remember who did the study, but if you were to Google homicide rates for women in Jamaica due to domestic violence, that might come up because that was done many years ago. No. 2006, fast forward to 2022, you know how long that was, and things has gotten disproportionately worse.
Yeah.
All right? Now, let's look at the Donnelly murder case, for example. That officer was so sure that his colleagues would protect him,
Yeah.
even although he knew that they would have known that he was and would be responsible for Donnelly's disappearance. Now, I draw attention to that case just to make Kiba's point that law enforcement in Jamaica has zero interest in dealing with domestic violence.
Yeah.
So I hear the Prime Minister come on and he makes this fancy speak, and I know we're tough on domestic violence. And I'm like, with all due respect, Mr. PM, it's hogwash. Because on the ground, women have nowhere to turn to as it relates to law enforcement. There are non-law enforcement groups in Jamaica. For example, Women in Crisis is a very good institution over there that helps women who are battered and seeking help. But the government in of itself and police and law enforcement saying, hey, come, we're going to this house, this man needs to be arrested, chances of that happening is just as great as catching a fish riding a bicycle. It's not happening.
Yes.
And that is a sad truth. So what happens, women do one of two things. They suffer in silence, or until they develop enough fortitude to say, all right, today's the last day.
Yeah.
Today's the last day you're going to do this to me because I'm going to kill you. And they wind up killing them. That's how usually that ends. I've always said this. Whenever it gets to a point where you and another adult woman have to resort to fights,
Done.
it's over. I don't know why people fool themselves. Sorry.
Yes,
If
yes,
you and
yes.
Done.
I are in this house right now, and no matter how big the dispute is, if me and you cannot sit down as rational, logical, thinking human beings, it's over. And it
Definitely.
makes sense in a fool in itself. It means that somebody never grew up, somebody never understands. So listen, physical violence is not the way to resolve an issue.
Any
and if
issue.
that's on the day, pack up and go.
Yeah.
Me not care what nobody say. Because me never in a situation yet when me feel like, say, me have to get physical with a woman. The only time I will get physical is if me I try to leave. And you try to prevent me from leaving.
Exactly.
And when I say physical, me I try to get you out of my way because I want to leave. Because sometimes that's the best solution. You leave and sometimes don't go back. Don't go back for nothing. Just leave and stay left. That's something on it. But
Definitely.
men have to learn, say, what you know. A woman have the right to disagree. A woman are going to be fresh. I'm going to tell you some F-way, and believe me, that them do. And if you don't understand that now, then you're not ready for a relationship yet, because them are going to talk things and it's going to provoke you. But when you get to that point where you can't take it no more, go drink one Red Stripe and chill out. Nobody get involved with it. No, for real. Just leave her alone. She's going to stop talk. She's going to calm down back again, and it's going to be like nothing ever happened. But the minute you stay and decide to go get confrontational, it's a mess.
That's
but
the
Jamaica, going back to Jamaica, my final point, Jamaica has to do more as a system of government, particularly in the rural parts, St. Thomas, Deep Portland, places like those. Women suffer immeasurable pain due to domestic violence with nowhere to help. Because now, like in a Kingston, you have a couple of places you can go. Deep country, you just know, say, you're going to get beat up every night, and it's almost a lifestyle, and it's sad.
It is
It's
very sad.
But that's the reality.
Listen,
All right.
thank you so very much for
Well,
sharing
anytime.
with us. All right.
Anytime.
Well, the man,
Wow.
my country look away. Domestic violence anywhere is domestic violence, and it's wrong,
Yeah.
right? And like the caller said, if you find yourself in a situation where the arguments are no longer verbal or the situation, it's getting physical, leave.
Yeah, definitely so. This mom, the husband, but now we're not too sure because It was a husband, right?
Yeah, it was a husband.
Right.
It was a
So
husband.
her husband, first of all, he was beating her.
Right.
She outed him. She showed videos on YouTube. She reported it. They arrested him. They released him. The very same day, he drove the car directly. He even waited for the woman to pick up the children. This is show you how.
No, it's the next morning.
Is the next morning?
It's the next morning. So she was taking them to school.
To school. So he waited for her to have the kids in the car. Why never even? I mean, not that there's a better way to do it, but at least why would you traumatize the kids?
Right.
And he went
Which story is
straight. He ran straight into her.
Okay.
And crashed the car into her.
Right.
Came out with his gun.
All right.
Pointed the gun, aimed it at her because she's now wearing a bulletproof
bulletproof.
jacket.
Right,
She's
right.
so scared of him.
Right.
And then he shoots her point blank in her head with the kids in the car. Then he walks away, jumps in him car and drive away, leaving the traumatized kids, his kids, by the way,
Right.
2 of his kids
Right.
and 1 from a previous relationship
Right.
in the car.
Right.
with their
With
dead
the
mom.
Dead mom.
After witnessing their father shoot their mother with blood splatter all over upon them and every. How
You see-
do you,
see,
do something like that?
You saw the people from the ambulance, the EMTs, they had to put sheet over the door, the car.
So you
car
didn't
door
see that.
to cover it.
You know what?
It's ugh.
Yeah, you shoot her in her head.
It's not the first.
All the babies have blood and flesh and
Yeah,
everything splatter
yeah,
all over them.
yeah.
And you are a father
Yeah,
and you walk away
yeah.
and leave that. Oh, listen.
Rage is something you dig what I'm saying, but and all of that is premeditated. So
That's a
He
premeditated.
thought
So that
about
is
it.
not rage. That is
Yeah,
premeditated.
I mean, it was
That's not
premeditated.
rage.
He was angry and
What is he
you know,
angry at? He's always angry. He's beating up the woman.
I don't know. I don't know what his issue is, but he's going to go to a place where there are men. And you know, if you've ever been in these places, you know that there are a couple of things you don't want to go to jail for. You know, and any kind of abuse of a woman or a child that's one of the things. So wherever he lands, wherever he goes to serve his time, God spare him. Because he's going to they're going to pass him around like cigarettes.
Oh, wow.
You're tough now. There are guys in there, their arms look like your legs, Sherry. And if they want, when people like this come in, they're waiting for them. And something long like my foot. And that's what I'm going to get. That's how it works. So we out here going, he's going to get his, bro. Trust and believe.
Something's wrong with him though, because they said that he was in the story. He went to prison for 15 years. I don't know for what, and he was on parole.
Probably got
So
victimized in there, too.
here's the thing. So did he have the child with? Did they get married after he came out of prison?
I don't.
Because here's, listen, me not gonna fault nobody, you know. And you know what? I'd rather be alone than choose certain elements.
But how do you know, though? How do you know from the gate
If
that
you
it's
know
going to
said
be
somebody
that
in a prison,
way?
I'm sorry. I have to. That's why I said why. Why did he go to prison?
Right.
Because if you meet somebody and they went to prison because they murdered a woman, they murdered their mother, them whatever, and they did a heinous crime.
Right.
Why would you want to take this person up? All of them cute. Turn a blind eye. Don't even look in that direction. I'm sorry.
Hey,
No.
But there are people on death row right now, people in the news, you know, convicted of horrendous crimes. And there's a line of women outside waiting
That's why I'm
to
saying
get with them. Like,
the women who I'm not gonna judge by saying this, but women who do this, they have to know
Right.
that there are repercussions that could possibly come from it.
Right.
So do you want that in your life? Do you want the stress? Do you want you don't know what this person is capable of? You are now meeting somebody after they've been locked away for however long.
Traumatized.
You don't know where their mental state is at.
Traumatized.
Then they start beating you and you end up having 2 kids for them.
How do you hold on? After the first beating,
After the first, listen.
why you around for the second and the third?
Can't get the first beating dinner because I can read people. So from me, see you all go a certain place, I'm taking with myself. However I can strategically do it. I'm going to do it.
Sherry, I don't get, especially in this day and age. You know what I mean? Somebody goes, oh, my husband been beating me for years. Or after the first beating, you should have left. You get what I'm saying? You are an adult. Oh, he don't let me. What do you mean he don't let you?
Yeah, I don't
leave the house and don't go back.
I don't understand it. But while we're on it, let me just share with you the National Domestic Violence Hotline is 800-799-7233. 800-799-7233. Again, that number is 800-799-7233 because I know that somebody who is listening is being abused. Stop denying it. Stop coming up with excuses for your attacker. Stop saying, I know he loves me and he will change. I know she loves me and she will change. Stop it. And it doesn't have to be physical. It can be emotional. Get yourself out of it. Get some help. For those listeners who are in Jamaica, there's a Woman Incorporated Crisis Center, which is set up to deal with rape, incest, domestic violence, domestic crisis, and sexual harassment. And the telephone number is 876-929-9038. That's 876-929-9038. Again, 876-929-9038. And I'm also going to give you guys number to Trinidad, Guyana, and Barbados before we end the show. But 849. So, Diggy, what kind of man shoots his woman in the head and walks away with his kids in the car, don't even look at them?
Crazy.
And walks away.
Crazy. Can I share something with you?
Please.
All right. So I was about, 18, maybe 19 years old. I went to the library one day and met this cute young lady in the neighborhood, right? And it was during the time of cut and slash. When I say cut and slash, when you went to the barber, you got all these parts and 3 parts in your eyebrows. And, I was one of them guys. So she just happened to be in a barbershop one day when I was getting a haircut. And she came up to me. She was like, why are you doing all of that? I'm like, well, you know what I'm saying? It's my hair, my face. I do what I want. She's like, well, you can never be my man doing stuff like that. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know I was in a in a conversation. I just thought you was cute. I'm going to stop doing all this. Long story short, Jamaican parents. Parents are separated. Mm-hmm. Mother left. She left the situation, and she took the daughter and left the 2 sons. With him. No, excuse me. She left, with the daughter and left the 2 sons. The mother got a call, father wants to make up, meet me, at the house, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. The daughter goes, because that's home, so, she's happy to go home. Anyway, long story short, he kills everybody.
Wow. You see, that's what I'm talking about.
The father killed everybody?
He killed everybody. He killed
Including she?
2 sons, the daughter.
Wow. The same girl that
The same girl.
Wow.
That is so sad.
Gee,
Wow. It is 8:51, guys. And, ooh.
And this was decades ago. So the fact that we're talking about this same kind of situation in 2022.
I don't think it will ever.
It'll never change.
No, it will never change. I think this is something that was happening way back, and it is going to continue. And part of it is that people feel like they own you.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
This is a serious thing, Relationships Man, I tell you, you have to be prepared before you jump into a relationship.
You never know,
You
though.
got to fix yourself before you get in. You have to get rid of the baggages, and we're talking to men and
know.
women. And of
never
course,
know.
you got to communicate and make sure that you have an understanding with this person. Make sure that there's mutual respect.
Right.
There is real love.
But like you said, a lot of men, you know, especially Caribbean men, you know, it's an ownership thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you know, you get in a relationship with me, you're no longer an individual. You now become my property. You know, or y'all give away my thing. Or y'all this with my and that with my. And, you know, none of it is mine. It's all yours. You know what I'm saying? Just like you have freedom to do whatever. Right? So, like somebody explained to me, a married woman explained it to me a long time ago this way. If you're not married to somebody, they can't cheat on you. They can be unfaithful to you, but you have no contract to violate. So here what? The freedom, you have the freedom to walk away, you know, with no repercussions, other than hurt feelings, which you'll get over. Right? It may hurt, it may be hard, you can't see that, but they did nothing, you know, because you don't have a contract. There's no written legal agreement between you and that person to be faithful. So the court doesn't recognize that. Right? So yeah, you know, when we learn to put pride, you know, like I said, prideful, man, yo, yeah, she violated me, she disrespected me, and a lot of it is based on that. Some of it is based on control. Like I said, the ownership thing.
Right. You feel like you own the person, and anything that
I'm
you
my
want to
girl,
do,
that.
you assert yourself. So let me just also share, as I said before, help and shelter in Guyana. The number is 592-225-4731. That's 592-225-4731. And this is Homestretch Avenue in Georgetown, Guyana.
Right.
Now in Trinidad, the information is okay. So you have 868-800-SAFE. 868-800-SAFE, and that's the violence abuse hotline in Trinidad and Tobago. There's also the Rape Crisis Society of Trinidad and Tobago, which is 868-627-7273, 868-627-7273. And also, for those in Barbados, there's a safe haven for women, BPW Safe Haven for Women. The crisis hotline is 246-435-8222. That's 246-435-8222. We have listeners from all over, so of course, you know, we wanted to share the information all over. Listen.
Yeah.
Very, very, very interesting. And, you know, we have to kind of grow out of it.
Yeah.
Kiba, what do you say to women who are being abused right now?
Girl, get up. Get up and walk away. It's
Yep.
not worth it.
Yep.
It's not worth your mental capacity. Like, as I said, the anger. I think that's a part of why I'm so angry about a lot of stuff, too. Because I did not catch that guy. No, you have to think about it. I could have. There are instances where I saw him and I just stood behind him and I just smiled. And when he turned around, he's like,
"Hey, girl, we are dealing."
Because, and I'm like, at those times I have my friends with me, and they're like, "Kiba, you're good." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good."
But look at that. That's one incident that occurred while you were so young. Can you imagine the women who are going through this, like, on a
Every
daily
day.
basis,
Oh my God.
whatever, you know? Very, very interesting.